Alright. Good evening, everyone. There we go. Looks like we're live. I'm Professor McCoy. Welcome back to Greedfall II. Gosh, this shirt is much darker on screen than I thought it was, but hopefully that's not going to interfere with my streaming stuff. Anyway, it's fine. It's blue. It's supposed to be... It's like a heather blue kind of thing. Anyway, whatever. No. In case you missed last time, we are actually finally out of the prologue as of last week. And we're the world is starting to open up, at least to the old world as it is, as we can call it. So let's just jump right into things. Wait, there we go. Once again, this game, or I guess this series at this point, because it's 2 games now, so it's a series, and it looks like it'll probably just be 2 games, given that Spiders, if I'm not mistaken, just went under. Give everything a moment to load in properly, but yeah, look at that. Gosh. Yeah. Anyway, yeah, the environments in the series are just excellent, gorgeous, inspired as well. There's a lot to the sorry monkeys. Oh, I'm gonna need to fight them, aren't I? I can't get around them, can I? Yeah, I can. Anyway, yes. Hold on a second. Make sure my... It's a little better. Volume was a little too high. Anyway, I guess it would fall under art direction. Ooh. What is that? That dog has barding on it. Meaning that it seems like it belongs to someone. Alright, let's have Nilan go. Oh, there's 3 of them. Whose are they? Armored pack leader. And that's the one we have to kill. Okay. Let's have Nilan go here. Fausta next to him. Ludwig is going to hop down. Draw some aggro. Okay. Then Nilan. Power shot. You. Fausta is going to... Now that's a melee attack, isn't it? Hurtful words. And then just attack. And just attack. Ludwig is going to... Nothing. Just wait. Frieden. That's fine. Ooh, shh. That's gonna be a problem. Weapon blessing is Nilan, coated arrow on the boss.
what we're made of.
Ludwig, taunt at that one, please. Milan. Power shot, same one. Break some of that armor for me.
My armor is no good anymore.
I need to first aid Milan by the time I get there. Actually, you know what? Never mind. No, I don't. Fausta can Divine Ray. Be done. And just walk up to there. Now then. Anyway, how you doing, Grace? Good evening. Good timing, I suppose. Starting just as you're finished with dishes. That's good. Very good. Anyway, like I was saying, the I guess it's to some extent I would call it the environmental design, but it's more the artistry of it than the like the level design aspects of it. So I guess it's kind of art direction. But specifically of the environment, I guess you'd say. I don't know. It's hard to describe. But this game is just gorgeous in a really standout and unique way. I mean, like,
Strange. He should be here by now.
Looking like this, not really.
Let's take a look around. Maybe he's moved a bit farther away. Or maybe something's happened to him.
Maybe we could say it's a little desaturated, down here, but that's partially because it's dusk. But then also, you just like look at the way that the ruins line in, just sort of blend into the mountains, and then you have the that sort of leading into the gorgeous little seaside village and everything. It's really nice. It's really nice. All right, so we're supposed to be meeting a native contact here. I guess I should say a Tierfordian contact.
Look, there are signs of a struggle here.
Someone must have attacked our contact. We have to find him. Without...
Oh.
I don't know how to get to your people.
I see trucks over here. There's a trail leading away from here. Look.
Okay. Anyways, the other thing I wanted to talk about a little bit was we saw something really, really cool today. So we went outside and we got to watch from the other side of Florida the rocket launch. The launch of the Dragon capsule.
The trail goes this way.
On the Falcon 9, which is I think the largest launch vehicle ever put into space. That is SpaceX's that's SpaceX's Falcon. It's the 9, right? The current one. But yeah, it is absolutely massive. We last time we went over to Cape Canaveral, we saw one. It's really something. That is ugly as sin, but maybe we can give it to somebody. Delon, maybe. Ooh. Let's see if we can do it. Nice. Not
I can't
nice.
do it.
Darn. Oh well. Yeah, it was cool. I mean, we did not. There wasn't much to see from over here, because we are on, like I said, we are on the other side of Florida. We're a solid, what, 80 or 90 miles away, give or take.
I see trucks over here.
So what we really wound up seeing was really just the rocket trail. But then we wind up watching the live stream of the launch, and then also, honestly, far more impressively, the live stream of the landing of the stage 1, the first stage of the rocket. So the rocket basically goes up, and as it is leaving the atmosphere, the first stage, the primary engines, the first stage, cut off. It drops off. It separates.
I can't do it.
It separates, just like a lot of older rockets as well. Like I think Saturn V, you probably have that vision sort of seared into your mind of like that camera facing down from the rocket, looking past the engines, and then the thing just drops off. Right, same sort of thing. But the first stage is most of the size, most of the height of the Falcon 9 is this first stage, and so the thing drops off. But then it has basically retro thrusters. It has additional rockets, which it uses the little micro thrusters to adjust its trajectory and to slow down its ascent enough to fall back down into Earth's gravity well. And it basically falls back down the same way it came, and then ignites a main engine, basically a retro thruster again. Really powerful retro thruster. And it lands on the original launch pad, which is the craziest thing. That is one of the most incredible things. Gosh, I'm not gonna last all night tonight. Yeah, that the fact that we can launch a rocket, and that stage 1 of that rocket is not only reusable, which is new enough and rare enough and cool enough technology, but that can not just be reused, but that it physically lands on its own launch pad is amazing. I have him going. Move him down a little further. Great. Let's initiate, shall we? Be done. They're flinging poo, aren't they? They're flinging poo. Alright, heal me a little bit, real quick. And Nilan, you two. Be done. See if I can finish him off. Ludwig, actually wait. charge with this one. I need some distractions.
It's broken.
He dodged. It's not nice. Anyway, I'll say the way I like to describe it, and the way I like to describe this fascinating and just really, really cool advancement in technology is that we're finally in the 20th century, or sorry, we're in the 21st century that the 20th century was describing. Like, think about early 20th century science fiction. Like, think about the what we might call the rocket punk era of science fiction, right? The vision of a spaceship was a big old rocket. It takes off, you know, like a rocket. And then to land, it just goes the same way it took off and just lands on either a landing pad or just, you know, on a thing, or like a just on a planet somewhere or something. Which is basically what we just saw this afternoon. That is just, it's so cool. Now, cool factor aside, it's also just a tremendous cost-saving measure. Yeah, rocket punk is a very stupid shorthand for science fiction that is really more than anything meant to imitate that era of like early 20th century science fiction, like that Buck Rogers kind of thing. Oh, there's more frickin' monkeys. Fine, you know what? I'm just gonna...
Show them what we're made of.
What can she do here? Bless? No, that's not actually helpful. Yeah, why not? Nilan can coated arrow. That one, I guess. Redone. Go around the back. Are you kidding me? Okay, so I can't pathfind. That's cool. That's awesome. Thanks for that. Ludwig, you can do something cool, like Shadow Impact, right? There's no shields, so whatever.
My armor is broken.
Dylan, go ahead and coated arrow this one again. And then heal Fausta. Ludwig, knock that one down. I don't want to be attacked. Fausta, Fine Ray, in one. You've got the action points for it. Let's just heal everybody, shall we? Nice. Alright. Space punk? That's too vague. I think that's too vague. I think I say rocket punk specifically, just because it imagines space travel using literal rockets. Maybe I shouldn't be in here yet. Like, mostly with, you know, whether that's chemical rockets or nuclear rockets or whatever. Though I will say there is a lot of overlap with atomic era sci-fi. Because it was the same time period, realistically. Where these genres, subgenres, I guess, of science fiction, or these aesthetic clusters of science fiction kind of develop together. Between the sort of atomic age and the rocketry age. So they tend to go together, but maybe not necessarily. I have to. Because I have also heard the term atom punk as the kind of, I don't know, slightly darker or more gritty version of like the Jetsons kind of aesthetic, that kind of thing. Where everything's atomic and there's like ray guns and stuff like that. There's a couple of guys. They appear to be hostile. Can I talk to them, maybe? Catch-all term for, Cold War sci-fi. Oh, hello! Okay, fine. And I guess we'll focus fire on one.
I'd best vanish into the shadows.
Where's shadow projection? You knock him over. And then Ludwig, violent charge him. First aid myself. Okay. Could blow up those barrels. That might actually help me. No. Jesus. Okay. Healing wave. No. Healing wave. Slightly move it. There we go. Combat healing? Yeah, that'll be fine. Ludwig. Taunt. All of them. Please. Charge you. Rope. Yeah, so other Grace brings up sub-aesthetics under Cold War punk: atom punk, space punk, rocket punk. There's also the there's distinctively Soviet science fiction as well, which has a kind of with it, of course, being, you know, centered upon communism and communist ethics and aesthetics. It tends to be brutalist in aesthetic. And it also tends to be, how do I get up there? To, you know, glorify the both the workers and the collective. And then, of course, you have the actually, it's funny. You didn't really develop the opposite of the sort of extreme capitalist aesthetic until much later.
Somebody's there.
And even then, it didn't really catch on.
I thought I'd starve to death in this hole.
It's the sort of
What
John
are you
Galt's
doing down there?
Atlas Shrugged kind of
I fell.
thing.
It was a stupid accident. Would you be so kind as to get me out of here?
But how could you fall into this? This hole is clearly visible.
I suppose you could say I became absorbed by my thoughts. I'm a sculptor, you see. I came here to get inspired by these runes, and while I was marveling at these wonders, I wasn't really looking where I was going. Well, now that you know how absent-minded I am, could you get me out of here?
Lucky for you, we have a rope with us.
We got like 7 ropes with
I
this.
guess I'm lucky in my misfortune. Look, just get me out of here and I'll be grateful. I've just finished a sculpture in the Astrian style that I'd be happy to give you.
Yeah,
You
sure.
can easily sell it for a good price, or keep it if you're a connoisseur.
Yeah, sure, why not help? In Soviet Russia, communism is punk aesthetic, not oppression. Oh, no. It's, that's the thing. It developed a lot of times. At least later, at least by, like, the 60s and 70s. A lot of those communist aesthetics developed into a kind of tongue-in-cheek wink and a nod towards acknowledging that the party was oppressive. I know. I get it. It's a Yakov Smirnoff in Soviet Russia. I get it, but I'm pedantic. I can't help it. No, it's actually an interesting phenomenon, though, right? So it's the disturbing comparison. We have a similar kind of we call cynical humor, and it's sort of developing in our own society. Specifically, I'm thinking of Epstein didn't kill himself. Yeah, that whole joke. That whole joke That whole thing about everybody kind of like winking and nodding about, yeah, no, we know Epstein didn't kill himself. The thing I pointed out before in a video a long time ago, the Mardi Gras float in 2020, might have been even 2019, the Mardi Gras float in New Orleans of Hillary Clinton strangling Jeffrey Epstein, which is still hilarious. That is one of those like, yeah, no, we all know that the whole thing is rigged, so we're just gonna make silly jokes about it because we can't say it out loud. We can't take it seriously. It's gotta be a joke. And that is a kind of there's an element to that that developed in Soviet Russia, especially later on. Like what's a good example of a joke? There's the one of, okay, so it's the one about the Russian guy. There's a Soviet guy who is waiting in a bread line, and he finally gets too frustrated with waiting, and he says to his buddy in the line, he says, "You know what? I've had enough of this. I'm going to go and kill Stalin." So he leaves. He leaves to go do it. And then his friend sees him back the next day, and he's shocked. Like, "You're back? I didn't expect you to be back. If you were going to either succeed and be a hero or fail and be a martyr. What happened?" And he says, "You think this line is long?
Just hold on a minute while we secure it, and you can climb up here."
Thank you for helping me out of my little predicament. You're a true patron of the arts. The sculpture I promised you is back at my camp. You'd better come with me to get it.
Sure. Why not?
We'll follow you.
Why not? Yeah.
I'm a man of my word. Here's the sculpture as promised. This is my finest work to date. It's inspired by these ruins and is in the purest Astrian style. It could pass for the real thing. Now, if you don't mind, I'm going to make myself something to eat. I'm starving. Thank you for getting me out of that hole. Farewell.
Anyway, so yeah, I will say the thing about it that is so funny and so uniquely Soviet is that it leaves the punchline implied, right? The punchline, which I told the joke in its full, like as I remember it, as I've heard it, it doesn't actually say what the line is for, why he's complaining about a long line, because you can't just say that. It has to be implied. But the implication is clearly that he left the bread line to go and kill Stalin, but got frustrated waiting in line with all of the other people who wanted to kill Stalin. Right? But you can't say that, right? You can't actually say that explicitly. You have to kind of wink and nod. You have to make an innuendo about it. You got to turn it into a joke that, yeah, everyone knows the punchline, but you can't say you know the punchline. And even if you're gonna try and get somebody in trouble for it, then, well, in order to get somebody in trouble for it, you have to understand the joke, and that means you have to know the punchline, and that means you have to be harboring secret bad thoughts about the party, and you can't, right? And so the whole thing relies, the humor in the joke relies upon these layers and layers and layers of self-deception, of oppression, of hatred and distrust for the system. Right? All of this gets wrapped up in one joke. And in not just the joke itself, but the way the joke is set up and delivered.
We are missing something to make this work.
Let's try it. Hey, we did it! Grace says, my favorite in Soviet Russia joke is the one my friend and cousin Aaron came up with. In Soviet Russia, Pokemon trains you. almost seen. What's with this, like, gaseous decay here? Try that. Yay, we did it. Oh. Hey. Let's check our inventory real quick before we move on too much. Another cavalry saber, just without the mods. Okay. No. Okay. New hat. That is statistically better, I guess. I hate it though. Ugly as sin. I'm actually gonna go with the bracelets, because I actually have a bit of an affinity for those. No. Eh? No. You though, Fausta, you can use this. These rings are better than yours. Better armor. Where's weight? High ground damage bonus. Resistance to burn, affinity to rage. Yeah, but it's ugly. It's grody. Ugly. I don't like it. Anyway. Could wear a cape, but no. Could wear eye gloves, no. No. His equipment's locked. Why? Oh, no, he's locked. He has to be in the party. That's what that means. At least I assume. Worse armor. Much worse armor. No. Okay. Way heavier. He can't afford to be heavy stuff. No, all right, that's it. We're still where we need to be. All right.
Walker, and people like me.
Keep calm and keep your voice down. We're here to free you.
Please, hurry. They're talking about selling me to the soldiers.
To the soldiers?
Esfado, Serinka koiti solfolad.
Adloch hedwe. Bud me samel Swiss heden.
Okay, what about this guy? Wasn't there somebody else over here? Yeah, rope. Make another rope. Rope's good. I don't think I should go out that way. Okay, yeah. The repairing this ladder and then picking that lock was a way easy solution to this problem. Come on, guys. Everybody out of here. Alright. That's it, right? We did it? Yay. Meet a compatriot. Yeah, we failed. Alright, gentlemen of fortune. Yeah, we snuck in. Alright. Guide him to a safe place. Where? Refugee camp. Which is where? Right there. It's right there? Really? There's no way it's right there.
We're far enough from the camp.
Oh, okay, there you
You're
go.
amazing. As fast and fleet as the wind. Come on.
Thank you.
Let's go to our people. They'll make you feel right at home. You'll see. Let me see your map. This is where our camp is.
Sounds like He sounds comically stupid. I'm sorry. It's something. It's not even his cadence. It's really just his voice. Oh God, you know who he reminds me of? Oh, what's his name? I forgot the character's name, but the dumb guy, and that's really saying something. But the dumb guy from the most popular girls in school. Anyone ever see that? Anybody ever watch that show? It was a web series of it used stop motion animation with Barbie and Ken dolls. And it was basically just about, a bunch of kids in high school doing drama, doing dramatic, like, high school drama stuff. It was really, really funny. Wildly inappropriate. Like, don't let kids watch, but it was really funny. If you haven't seen it, check it out. It is really funny. It also is, I don't exactly quote it all the time, but I use little bits and pieces of dialogue and mannerisms and things. Like there's a whole family of characters who not family. There's a group of characters. Some of the girls. When they say goodbye, they say bye, which I just have a really bad habit of doing. Which you've
older. There is something here.
You've probably noticed that on live stream
I
before.
can hear the earth sobbing beneath my feet.
That's dramatic.
At last, we'll soon be with our own kind.
That's the first time I've seen you smile. It's not exactly paradise here, though. Your people must have been in hiding for months, scavenging for food every which way to survive.
Soldier's doublet? Yeah, okay. Can I talk to her? Guess not. Excuse me. Yeah, like I said, I'm not gonna. I don't think I'm gonna make it to midnight tonight. It's a long day. Oh no, I don't think you screw up the format. I think that I think that it is a well enough known joke format that you can leave off the first part. That is perfectly reasonable. The Renoigs are helping me, okay? They freed me and are responsible for my being here.
Hello. How are you?
Why are you speaking... I'm just gonna say English. It's... Because it's also kind of weird that,
Can't you? There is something powerful here. At home, it would be a place of connection. The earth is speaking. It's shouting.
Interesting. I think I know where this is going. But I'm gonna wait and see. I'll find out when the game tells me. And if I'm wrong, I will explain what I thought was going to happen. How about that? If I'm right, we'll just see it. We'll see it happen.
Again, hadreg des brotumer. Berde haul fradem sadio, o berda has kagarantanui. You're the one Kenkel's worker, aren't you?
That's the nickname he gave me. My name is Ludwig.
Welcome,
Walker.
Ludwig. The things you brought us have been a great help. And I see that this time you've brought us some of our own people.
Because it's played by Chuck Norris?
Yes,
or,
yes.
Or what?
Like you, they were taken from your island. They were imprisoned and escaped.
All our people are welcome here.
Adloche daraval. Esme nilan. Ages evriden ger. Esni donei gada e korei e shantamen lag.
Fridan ger. Esanum yori. Sagia berad crimoderum dadesa.
Bring you strength here?
Iriden de loban carriden on gerveldacham qual nadaktansan. Avar satir to cladmir oledes. And who are your other companions in this land?
My name is Fausta. I'm just a fugitive from Teleme.
We're happy to have you here.
Just.
And even if we don't have much,
Okay.
we'll gladly share it. As you will soon learn for yourselves, our sanctuary is extremely precarious. Although we are free, we must remain hidden, or risk being imprisoned again. Some of our people are sick and weakened by the ordeal they've been through.
Strange.
And we are short on everything. Any help you can offer will be most welcome. But I don't want to burden you. You must be tired. I'll let you settle in and get to know each other.
Is the basically enslavement of the Tierfridians, is that just blatant and out in the open? It kind of seems like it would have to be for them to be fugitives like this. You know? See, okay, what part of what I'm thinking is this spiral and this cave in general reminds me a great deal of the ritual cavern where we became Donegada, where we were Earthsworn or whatever. I have to wonder if there's a connection to that. And I know a little bit about the lore, enough about the lore, to think that there may in fact be such a connection. But again, we'll find out.
It's Lair from the Black Isles. We crossed paths during a ceremony with both our clans, remember? So, he too was captured. We should go talk to him.
But him? Let's talk to Sen first, we just rescued him.
Aridenger. Esata harragau da eludem. Radita garat nilan kud em galundar samelsa. Navrek sa enig. Es anum yalinit encom.
It's a name you can't forget. A name that takes on its true meaning here.
And Walker, you came too.
I've still got a few things to check before we set off again.
I'm glad you've come all this way with us. Stay as long as you like.
Sorry, it's the voice, I don't know. It's some combination of the voice and the accent, and maybe the voice actor is like putting something on here. I don't know. It's combined with the expression and the dreads that are only on the top. Like he looks like the comic relief stupid guy. I don't know. He looks and sounds. He seems like, I forget the guy's name. I forget the character's name from Most Popular Girls in School, but it's definitely a vibe there.
How are you doing after all this excitement?
Fine, thanks to you. Those fools treated me well, but it wouldn't have lasted if they'd sold me. I'm a little afraid to go fishing in the same place again, though. I'll have to find another spot and get someone to fix my harpoon. It suffered more from the fight than I did.
Let's give it a shot, I guess.
I could try to fix that harpoon you mentioned, if that would help.
That would be very
Oh,
kind.
I broke it
Thank
worse,
you.
didn't I?
Here,
Darn.
No, I really don't see how I can fix it. I'm sorry.
it's all right. You did your best. Thanks for trying.
Well, you're welcome. Again? If I heard it correctly. Set up camp. Gather party. Hello, party. I can take a nap. But I also want to talk to everyone.
Ever quid siad dad, sians tugiam na siant tranagu so ya an cloid end reduven.
Na faber quid quins do. Na fravins on quest.
Hages arulam to do linquid au oilem en quincy de quese isadama da hanadislan.
No. San caurto. Sagnasiet. Asa vegum nascent.
If we are to take sides, you should tell us more about what you're arguing over.
I want to leave. I've spent enough time here recovering from our imprisonment. I know that more of our people are still prisoners, and I just can't sit here and do nothing about it.
And I want him to stay here with me. I'm afraid of this land that seethes with evil. I'm afraid of its violent inhabitants and what they might do to him. I don't want to lose my beloved because he wants to be a hero.
They both have good points. I mean, it's the perfectly appropriate duty of the man to go and be a hero. And it is, of course, the corresponding duty of the woman to worry about him and to try as hard as she can to keep him safe.
Is this camp really safe?
Yes, we've been here for weeks, and no one has ever bothered us.
We've been hiding here like rats, only going out at night to find a bit of food. That's no way to live. And who's to say we won't be found sooner or later?
We won't stay here forever.
Point.
Rumor has it that you're going to help us get back to Tifradi, right?
Ow.
Indeed. My Nord friend has promised to do everything in her power
I
to
guess,
ensure
but
that
like,
we can return home.
that doesn't
You
seem
see? Why
easy.
risk our lives when we could just wait?
That is much easier said than done.
You say that more of our people are still prisoners. What do you know about it?
I know that when I escaped from the place where I was locked up, there were others who couldn't follow me. I can't imagine how they're suffering right now. Some were already gravely ill.
Where was it?
It was near their very large village, in huge rooms dug into the ground. I couldn't show you on a map, but I think I could find my way back.
I mean, yeah, but like, you shouldn't. That sounds like a dungeon, or even maybe even a prison, or worse. Given that this is the Bridge Alliance, probably worse. Some kind of freakish underground research facility.
You say you suffered. You weren't locked up with your husband.
No. When the journey on the great ship was over, I was taken to a place with the other women and young boys. A merchant traded us one after the other like goods. A man took me away and... I don't want to talk about what he did to me, I can't. But I know that people in this land are evil, and I never ever want to go through that again. And I don't want Virgo to leave me all alone.
I mean, she's been through it. But what he's doing is the right thing to do. Let's try to get them to work together to save the islanders. That's what they need to do. The right thing. And it seems as if he is the only one who realistically can, or at least can even, well, presumably, hopefully, lead others to do so. Because he shouldn't go on his own. That would be, again... excuse me, that seems like it would be imprudent, right? That would more than likely only just get himself recaptured. But going with assistance, going with backup. Even if it is just her, but more so if it's a group, right? If they lead a sort of raiding party. There's a chance.
Seedman, you've suffered a great deal, but Virgil is right. There are more of our people in danger, and only he knows where to find them. You must help them.
Thank you. I knew you'd understand.
Wait, there's more. You can't just leave your wife behind.
But she feels safer here.
It is because of you that she feels safe. She needs you to be with her. Besides, you'll be stronger together.
It's true that I'd rather stay here, but he's right. I want to be with you more than anything.
Beir tir sioleg, agaranten. We leave tomorrow at dawn, my beloved. Together, we'll free our people. You'll see.
I still think that the right thing to do would be to gather more people and go in a larger group. But what are you gonna do? Gatherer's linen tunic. Pretty basic. Differentian merchant. Bench. Let's see. Why don't I give, why don't I give him... Oh, he only gets heavy weapons, doesn't he? Let's just give him the hammer. I'll give him that. It looks so profoundly... Yeah, okay. Never mind. We're good. We got this. Perfect. Never seen anything more perfect. Ooh, the coin card. Yeah. I guess I'll give you the mechanisms one. You know, who's going to be good at doing mechanisms? I don't think it matters. Yes, why not? Okay, I've gotta mod those. Whoa. Big magic defense. Better mage's robe. Let's give that to her. That's actually... Yeah, that's nice. I have to mod it, but that's real nice. What about you, Ricky? What about you? Hold on. I mean, it looks retarded, but let's go for it. Why not? I'm okay with him, with my brother looking silly. Fine. Those are heavy. Also heavy. Way lower armor. Affinity to toughness, better weight. Wait, hold on. Switch my robe, my cloak. There we go. On a target without shielding, yeah. High ground damage one. That's nice. Yeah, give it a ruby. I mean, nice, but... Hell is retaliation. Let's go with stun. Or that helps a little. Not much, but it helps a little bit. Okay, gloves, boots. No. Alright, I think that's it. Could recycle some of this stuff. A lot of those, I guess. All right. Two-handed. No. I need one-handed. I don't have enough hardwood. Interesting. Okay. Yeah. Now, to be fair, this is kind of some of the stuff that I could do off stream, but meh. All right.
Ka ir na sien sa oid canoidi e coidi. Quod quaguidem ma veruem. Madides me? Mendid darrenau quesemen? Coid rai quessa alen mameunde.
Sie endeavor roidu da already mameunde?
Na estegam. Now calmi oleg dasa
Can
quessa.
try, right?
Essa dis.
We did it!
Da
Yay!
suis ferue.
Esad gorsi. Adlor headway marak.
Okay, let's see. Anything worth getting? Ooh. Reinforced tunic with satchel. That's quite nice. No disguises to buy, or to sell, or whatever. Okay. Let's see. That is massive magic deflection. Requires level 24. Yeah, no. No. Is there any of this I can even think about using? No. Okay, not even... No. I don't know why I'm even bothering.
Tegeduis.
Thanks, though. I have to assume that means that we're going to be coming back here often. If there are such high-level stuff to get.
Not here. The walls have ears.
What?
Moments radi dal. Es vel da gomorosi boy dian in jedem oil.
What do you mean? Alright, fine. No one wants to talk to me. I guess I'll sleep.
Birtirsimat, how do you feel?
To be finally free and surrounded by friends does wonders. But this earth has brought me some very mysterious dreams.
We didn't get to
To
see
me
any.
too. Dreams full of darkness and anger.
Many Donegada feel the same thing. This earth is sick.
Sick? What do you mean?
It's difficult to explain it to someone who is not bound.
When we were on our island,
Interesting.
the bond gave us...
No! No! No!
Why does he have fluorescent green hair? Is it just lighting?
Incredible. I want that thing alive.
Careful! She has lost all control of herself.
Okay. Nadaig Digeras. Okay, well, first of all, let's find out if we can kill the Bridge Alliance people. No, we can't kill the Bridge Alliance people. Okay, that's cool. Alright. I feel like this is gonna be difficult. Whatever. Violent charge. Milan, let's try and... Oh, it has magic resistance. That's interesting. Okay. That's interesting. Alright. No, that's fine. Oh, God. Oh, okay, that's not great. Wait, what? Oh, it turns that into an area of effect attack? That's interesting. Okay. Let's try knockdown. I don't think it'll work, but let's give it a try. Let's see. Let's try that. Coated arrow. Okay. He's gonna need to healing wave these two. And Ludwig, you've got full AP. I can shadow impact you. And then knock down.
May the shadows crush you!
I'm gonna take out some of that armor. Now it's time to Weapon Blessing. Then Purple Words, Shadow Whirl. Impact. Brutal Impact, why not? Killing Touch. Very says, what is the bridge patrolment to foil? Is it like a conquering power type thing? What do you mean? You're gonna need to explain a little bit. I'm not sure exactly what you're talking about.
May the shadows crush you!
Ow! Kill myself, don't I? Manufactured points, of course not. Okay, everyone move. That didn't work at all. Okay. Alright, how about we initiate healing Ludwig. Shoot. Let's try and knock it over. I don't think it's going to work, but we can give it a try. Okay, yeah, that's not great. On. Oh, okay, I see. It's immune to immobilization, stun, stasis, and possessed. I really should look at that, the thing above me. Okay, yeah, that would be a good thing to look at, huh? Can you combat healing? Yes. Man, I moved out. Initiates healing. Power shot. Goaded arrow. Why not? Weakness. Impact. Ow. Self-heal. Brutal impact. Alright, here we go. I don't think it can be projected, but let's find out. What in the hell? Okay, that's Ludwig. And then no, I can't. Can you? Okay. That can work. Let's do protector stance. And healing potion. And let's do energizing potion. And let's keep attacking.
At least I won't die
Ow.
at the end of the rope.
Ah, God. Okay. Nilon, healing wave, us two, please. No, not that. Forgot, that's self-centered. That sucks. Okay, finally, let's use hurtful words. Why not? And then, okay, that's gonna heal them. Power shot. Burning. Oh wait, no. Already weakened. Okay, that applies weakness, right? Alright, it's already weakened. Let's save our action points for just a minute. Air projection. No. Not in range. I just realized that the music is a, like, tortured version of the main theme. That's quite cool. That's necessary, and then we'll go Hooded arrow. Hurtful words. Projection. No, we'll wait on that. We'll wait on that. Alright, it's burnt and it's weakness did. See if we can projection it. And let's see if we can carpet saber it. There we go, okay.
It's no use. We cannot fight it. We must flee. Let's head for that boat.
But now they're going to capture it. I should say. Like, yeah, that's not good. That's really, really, really not good. Okay, so Grace says, like, are the characters you're playing as in-game indigenous group? Fight against the Bridge Alliance and conquer the land that bloods people. No. No, that was... No, it's a little bit different than that. We're, quote, natives of an island civilization. Basically... Think, roughly speaking, Europe and Americas. If America was an island around the size of Great Britain, actually, you know what? Here we go. Think continental Europe and Britannia, but with some of the aesthetics of and some of the the sort of political interactions of early colonization of the Americas. There you go. We the two main characters, Vridengare and Nilan, are Tirfadians. They're the quote natives. They're not natives here though, because when we were playing the prologue, the first 3-ish streams, we were back on Tirfadi, on our home island, but were captured by some Bridge Alliance people working for the Bridge Alliance, which was one of the nations, or a conglomeration of nations from the old world, from the continent. Now, the Bridge Alliance, culturally speaking, at least as it's depicted in the first game, and now this is getting a little bit more nuanced, now that we're seeing the kind of intranational, if you will, dynamics. But how they were portrayed in the first game were something like, culturally speaking, Middle Eastern, maybe Arabic, maybe Arabian, I guess, but secular and scientific. All that lumped together made them abjectly evil. They were prone to persecution of religion, especially being at war with Ptolemy, the sort of religious nation, if you will, the theocracy. But then also were highly dismissive of any of the natives, the Tirfadian spiritual beliefs. And so now here, what we have clearly is because we're in Bridge Alliance territory, we're within their nation, on the continent, in the old world, having been taken back there. And we're finding some allies to sort of help ourselves stay free, and also to get some of the other Tirfadians that they have captured and taken back free as well, and hopefully back to our home, back to our island. However, it's becoming more and more apparent that what they're trying to do is they're trying to somehow study the Donegada, which are the sages of the Tirfadians, who eventually become these guardians, these essentially monsters. Now that was a sick and a twisted and an out-of-control kind of guardian. Presumably because this land is sick. Something wrong with it. At the end of the first game kind of explained what exactly that was to some degree, but I don't want to spoil that game, and I don't want to spoil this game by giving too much of that away, but it should be pretty clear so far that that's part of what's going on. And now, the Bird Alliance being sort of abominations of science gone too far, that being their sort of guiding ideology, they're essentially Anthony Fauci just apotheosized into a nation, or an empire even, really. They are certainly trying to study the Dunagata, probably trying to study their transformations, their link to the land, maybe, and probably trying to study them with an end towards curing the Malachor, which is this malignant illness that is spreading throughout the continent, basically a plague. So, yeah, that is currently the stakes. That's more or less what's going on. Okay, enable Europe to react quickly to different situations. They use tactical commands. Tactical orders is a group shortcut that allows you to access all tactical commands. Interesting. Hold position. Okay. Retreat. Jumps backwards to reposition. Rally. Orders the whole party to regroup at the targeted area. Okay. Alright, well, maybe you could have told me this before the boss fight. Everyone attack my target. Orders not on all non-controlled characters in the party to attack the enemy targeted by the controlled character. Okay. Get back up. Controlled character comes to the aid of an unconscious companion, allowing them to be revived with a very small amount of flight. Ooh. Ooh, we can do that? Okay, that's handy. We leveled. That's good, too. Oh, Jesus. Come on, guys, really? Uh-oh. Don't... Oh, sorry, guys. Well, they're not taking damage from it, at least. That's good news. Come on, get out of the way. Come on, guys. Please? The village of Kizilkaya. It looks empty. Why is it empty? Is it because of the giant, terrifying monster right up the hill?
Hurry up! Everyone is aboard!
This meant to be like a Pompeii metaphor?
Damn it! She followed us.
What?
Get up, son! Hurry! Oh, no!
soldier! I'm not going to let you die!
Take my hand!
Well, that's one way of getting a new ally. God. Xantis. Oh, he's not used to this. Oh, he's not used to this at all.
Watch out! It's going to get rough!
Hahanem when Shaimar, Farges.
We can barely see! Can't dunk to that! We're heading straight for the rocks!
Good thing we have a knot on board, right? I guess. At least a halfway decent one, huh?
You saved us!
Not yet! Yuxantis, my homeland!
Happy to be back on solid ground. Welcome home, Alvida, and welcome to your guest. It was quite a feat to reach the island in that nutshell. An accomplishment worthy of a great captain. Speaking of which, you've been summoned by the Council of Admirals. Don't keep them waiting.
He doesn't have enough tattoos to be an admiral.
I'll go and see them as soon as possible. You should come with me. I'm going to need to introduce you in any case. You are my guests here.
Very well.
Oh, is this
Lead the
is
way.
this like specifically the like island kingdom whatever of the knots specifically? Let's bring Fausta. Let's leave Nilon. Oh, Till. This is our new guy, isn't it? Jill. I don't know. I like Ludwig. I like Fausta. Newton Empire. Knots. I kind of like her. Alvida. It's just she's really redundant with me in terms of like party balance. In terms of like actual party comp. Oh, he's Coin Guard. Of course he's Coin Guard. He's very fat. Native, obviously, Devasp family. He's interesting, but also clearly insane. And that's fine. It's allowed. Validate party. Huh. Okay, well, this is interesting. There is a kingdom of the knots. It's not gonna. Oh, here we go. Xanthus is over here on the left. Xantis. Okay, so let's see. Which Toynia? I'm going to assume that the capital we were brought to was right there, and then the town that we just fled was here. And then we somehow got to Xantus, which is up there. Now, where Xantus is probably a secret. I think that's the whole point. I wish this map were clearer as to what anything means. Like, nothing's labeled. It's just a really pretty hand-drawn map. Known lands of Paren, Dutton, and Toynia. The capital, villages, ports, and surroundings. Drawn for the Congregation of Merchants, Seren, 1231. Pretty cool. Okay. Well, let's do a little bit of an explore, shall we?
It's a pleasure to meet you.
You're not from around here.
What gave it away? Genuinely, though. What gave it away? Oh, speaking of which, I do need to change my tape. There we go.
This breeze is invigorating, don't you think?
This is cool. This is really cool. Foreigners Road. There's a freaky little cavern system in here. Alright, I figure we probably shouldn't go too far off the beat.
Oh. We don't want to be overheard.
I didn't realize I wasn't allowed there. Sorry. We should just go the right way, huh? Don't you think?
You'd be better off talking to a captain. I'm just a sailor.
Well, alright then. Who's this? Oh, don't need that. Let's just follow the correct path, shall we? Maybe a little bit of wandering. Keep wandering to a relative minimum. Barcello's abode. Food out? Huh. Man,
The council is expecting us, and I'd rather not keep them waiting.
Alright. I just have to say, though, that once again, one of the coolest things about this game, about this world, frankly, is that it is it's a high fantasy swords and sorcery kind of setting, but instead of being the typical medieval setting, it's the Age of Sail. Right. It's 16th through 18th century, broadly speaking. And it's an eclectic mix thereof, too, because you have much older armor and weapon sensibilities, but probably because that's affected somewhat by the existence of magic. Excuse me. And, presumably, the prevalence of big scary monsters. You want heavier armor and melee weapons when you're dealing with big scary monsters. Especially if you're working with, like, I think flintlocks at most. In terms of guns.
Enter through here. The Council of Admirals awaits you.
Oh, he's not an admiral. He's the herald of the admirals. Okay, that makes sense. That makes more sense. But the Naughts represent rank with tattoos, mostly facial, but generally. I think the chin is the first, if I'm not mistaken. Why do they have the same map on the wall and the table? That seems like... That seems a little unnecessary, you know? Reminds me of how I remember this very distinctly in the first game. Oh, see, that looks more like an admiral.
Alvida, and welcome to you traveling with her.
In the first game, they had globes that just had the map of Tier 4D on it.
However, Alvida, you haven't been summoned here just to exchange pleasantries. Rather, we would like to understand how you got here.
Well, we had to leave the Tynean coast quickly. We had no choice but to take a fisherman's skiff. It's small, but strong. I thought I'd head straight for Yxantis, and that's what I did. I know the stars and the currents like the back of my hand, so I had no trouble finding my way back to our island.
You made it through the Serpent's Fans in this nutshell, without losing a passenger.
That's right. My companions can confirm that we didn't lose anyone at sea.
Although it's unfortunate that you had to borrow this vessel, you've accomplished quite
Don't worry, I'm pretty sure the owners are dead.
No one has managed to sail through the Fangs in such a small boat in over 100 years.
It seems only logical to me that we should nominate our Nort sister Alvida for the title of captain, so that she might have a decent ship at last.
I second this proposal. Let's give her a ship.
I also support this proposal. She shall have her ship.
He seemed to hesitate.
I am recording our Nort sister Alvida in the register as a new captain.
You'll be able to return to the sea soon, Alvida, as soon as we can get you a ship. In the meantime, you'll have to add to your tattoos. You know where to go. We've already informed the Ink Mistress. Your friends can go with you, or they can wait for you at the inn. Remember that on this island, as when at sea, you are responsible for your guests, since they aren't Norts.
The council has ruled and adjourned. Away.
Okay. Okay, but what about us? Do you have any words for the strange foreigners? Anyway, yeah, the prevalence of this map in particular is, I will say, evidence that this game is distinctively AA. Because there's one map. Yeah, there's one map. Also, though, the swirl pattern, that's interesting. The prevalence of the swirl pattern is interesting. Once again, I'm reminded of that little ritual arena. Hello, Imsip, how are you? You have emerged drenched in precipitation, but alive stronger, and prepared to fight for the Duke of Argus and the King of Zankia. Well, cheers, dude. Cheers to that. Hope you're not too prepared. We still have 48 hours before we're actually playing D&D, so... Well, 44 hours, but who's counting? Alright, let's talk to these admirals, shall we?
Congratulations, Captain Alvida. I'm sure you'll bring honor to our guild.
Thank you, Admiral. I hope I won't disappoint you.
Okay,
Who and what exactly are the admirals? What's your role?
I understand that for someone outside the guild, our organization may seem rather strange.
And for someone
The
from Tier
admirals
4D
who
who's
meet
never
here
seen a
in
boat
council
larger than
in
my desk.
Yxantis are the leaders of the Norts Guild. They reached this level after having climbed through the ranks, distinguishing themselves through their bravery, talent, and foresight. They
You're
determine the
oddly
guild's
young for
direction,
that.
enter into contracts on behalf of the guild, and are responsible for a fleet. The size of the fleet depends on the number of admirals in office. Currently, there are only 2 admirals, Admiral
What?
Barcelus and myself. But there were 3 of us not so long ago.
Then who are those other guys?
Who and what
Oh.
exactly are the admirals?
I understand.
How do you see the guild?
I think I understand what's behind your question. We're a guild of navigators, ship owners, explorers, and transporters. But we're not pirates or mercenaries, and our code of ethics was set down by our forebears. I know you've suffered because of the Naught's involvement in your deportation. It's a difficult topic, because the Alliance is one of our biggest clients. Losing them as a client, even if only in part, would cost this island dearly. Personally, I think we should put an end to this type of contract, which is harmful to the Naught's very essence. After all, the Alliance won't be able to get to Tier 4D without us, even if we refuse to return with natives in our holds. That's one of the reasons why I've called the Council to the island. But unfortunately, Admiral Basilisk doesn't share my opinion.
Doesn't?
Thank you for your time.
It's my pleasure.
I'm getting a little bit of the... a little bit more of the... oh. It's just a trend that you notice, you know? Of the good guy being a woman and the bad guy being a man. Seems to come up. Certainly does here.
Captain Alvida.
He was the one who hesitated.
I'm very proud of what you've accomplished.
Oh, thank you.
Young people, I don't know you, but you're very fortunate to have crossed paths with this woman. Here she's responsible for your conduct, so be worthy of it.
Okay.
Do the Naughts always have two admirals? And what exactly is their role?
No, we don't always have two admirals. We've had as many as 6. Until recently, there were 3 of us. But old Placido decided to retire. As for our role, we are the defenders of the guild's spirit. Its decision makers. We each look after a part of the fleet. And
What about that other guy?
Council when necessary.
There's at least one other guy in the meeting,
When a sailor
right?
must stand trial
Am I
when
insane?
there's a business decision to be made that affects the entire guild. That sort of thing. I'm in charge of the Continental Fleet. Admiral Cabral is in charge of all travel to your island.
Okay.
How do you see the Naughts? Do you see them as sailors only, as merchants?
Just a few centuries ago, there were only a handful of ragged fishermen on this rock, who starved when the sea was rough. But those who came before me used the inhabitants' gift for navigation to transform it into the base of a prosperous guild. Most foreigners see us as simple sailors, but we're far more than that. We're ship owners. We design and build our own vessels. We're also explorers who open new routes on the seas and discover unknown lands.
Like ours.
And finally, we offer our transport services to the different nations and are paid handsomely for them, which allows us to go even further with better ships. I know you must resent some of the services we provide, but we're not responsible for what our customers put into our holds.
Aren't you, though?
We should refuse to transport people without their consent. It's horrific. They're not animals.
My dear, if you become an admiral, you can propose this to the council. I personally wouldn't risk it. The entire livelihood of this island and of the guild depends on the contracts we have with our customers. It's cruel, but that's the way it is.
All right. Well, I mean, he's not.
Thank you for your time.
He's not like
You're welcome.
evil. He's making concessions to the practicality. That's all. Which, you know, it's not great. But, you know, so I'm once again intrigued and almost even scandalized by the fact that this rule, this guideline, if you will, of not transport. Excuse me. Not transporting people against their will would seem to apply to prisoners as well, like legal prisoners. which is weird to me. Or maybe it's just not carefully thought out enough, and that's not what it's going on. Actually, hold on a minute. Can I move enough to... Yeah, hang on. See that? See that? The loading icon? That's also that little spiral, isn't it? It's all over the place.
Congratulations. You must be happy to see that the council has acknowledged your talent.
Yes, it's an honor. There's nothing like recognition from your peer. Watch out. That woman coming towards us is Bridge Alliance.
What's she doing here?
What do you want?
Only to speak to you and to warn you.
Warn us? Or threaten us? My friends have already suffered enough from your...
Please. I am no threat.
Really?
Let me introduce myself. My name is Saphir. I am an explorer and cartographer, and I'm indeed from the Bridge Alliance. From your reaction, I take it you suffered at the hands of the people of my nation, and for this I am truly sorry.
Really?
I know that some of my people can be extremely cruel to the natives of Tearfredi. However, I am not one of them.
Ugh.
I believe that knowledge is
Yeah,
the
sure you're not.
greatest treasure of all, but it is gained through discussion, not slaughter.
The same philosophy that guides her search for knowledge guides the monstrosities of the Bridge Alliance. To kidnap Tearfredians, to experiment upon them, and to wage war with Ptolemy. Yeah, it's the kind of intellectual hubris that can arise from this kind of unbounded pursuit of knowledge is the kind of hubris that can lead one to doing horrific and monstrous things. As benevolent as she sounds, or even thinks that she is, I still don't trust her, and ought not to.
You said you wanted to warn us about something.
There is an emissary from my nation here in Yuxantis, and she's a member of a faction that has a very contemptuous view of those from your island. They believe your people should be enslaved, or worse yet, used for experiments. This emissary isn't alone. There are guards with her. I wanted to warn you to be careful. It's very possible that she means to harm you.
It's you, isn't it? It's you. It's my guess. I'm just guessing. Could be wrong. Just guessing.
Why have you come to warn us? You don't know us. We're nobody to you.
I'm a traveler. I've met people from many countries and cultures, and I've always enjoyed these encounters. When I met the emissary from the Alliance, I quickly realized which faction she belonged to, though outwardly, she appears friendly. They believe themselves to be superior, and this belief leads them to look down on everyone else. These people are...
I just get the impression
on
she's
the
describing
Alliance.
herself.
They undermine it from within, convinced they're furthering its cause. Personally, I believe in what the Alliance represents. The true Alliance, that is. And I despise their attitude towards others. That's why I wanted to warn you.
Interesting. Yeah. I don't know. I just don't trust her. I just don't trust her. Maybe I should get Tearfredi bracelets. Oh, light and shadows, that's why. I see. Improves do-gooder stance. Meh. I don't use it enough for it to matter. Area effect. Fencing weapons. That's nice. Damage on one enemy twice. As bleeding. Oh, that's that. Um, get the area effect one. Kind of want to get bracelets. Yeah, let's do it. Let's do it. Maybe I shouldn't have. Maybe that was not the best decision, but fine, let's do it. Yeah. Alright. Okay, and then ability. Talents. Okay. Diplomacy might be useful. Stealth, maybe alchemy, maybe mechanisms. Yeah. Realistically, we need to max diplomacy first. That is how that works. Okay, Ludwig. Smuggler's Road. First aid might be useful for him. Might be good to have another first aid, basically. I have no one who can inflict a curse. Improves Protector's stance. Armor by 3% or magic deflection by 10%. I'll have to get healing a little bit. Attributes. Okay. Alright, Destroyer's stance. Weapon blessing is nice, but no, read for Immune to burn, Vendetta. Weapon skill improvement. Nice chainmail. Yeah, yeah. Have I ever played Hero Quest? Is that the Is that the one where with the little? Is that the figurine minigame on the hex grid? Gotcha now. Five's an ally. Oh yeah. Let's go for it. An attribute. Okay. Okay, Albeda's challenge. Oh, I already have that. Okay. Yeah, that's cool. Teleport behind you. Nothing personnel, kid. Yeah, there we go. Alright, cool. We've got ourselves a level up. Excellent. Alright. Alright, now we can explore a little bit. Anyway, whose chainmail were you complimenting? His? Oh, early 90s dungeon crawler. Oh, okay. I think I know the one you're talking about. But no, I haven't played it.
Fair winds.
Xantis Inn, huh?
The sea is calm today. It's perfect for sailing.
Alright, let's see then, huh? What's this? The Fishing Mermaid. What's up with, what's up with not structures and them being sort of circular facing in? Is it a cultural thing?
Greetings.
Welcome to the Fishing Mermaid. What'll it be?
What you got? Nothing of use.
Thank you.
Not
Goodbye.
really.
Come back soon. We're
I
open
mean, I
at
could get
all
some
hours.
healing and potions and stuff. Alright, let's yap with some of our companions, huh?
What is it?
Oh.
Do you know anything about the ruins here? They are different than the ruins in our homeland.
I don't know anything about the ruins in your lands, but these ruins are similar to all the ruins found in the southern parts of the continent. They are the marks of an ancient civilization that lived and thrived here long before us, the Astrians. In those days, they had managed to unite the entire continent under a single banner, which seems unthinkable today. But outside of a few surviving stories that speak of their celebrated general, I must admit that I don't know much else. Concerning
Celebrated
these
general,
ruins
huh?
in particular, they seem
Military
rather vast,
civilization?
and they were certainly the remains of a city in their time. Scholars from the Alliance love to study the stones in the hopes of finding some lost parcel of knowledge.
Naturally.
What do you think about Yuxantis?
It's a strange place, sort of beyond our world in a way. It's funny how the Naughts are the link between every nation, including your own. They come
True,
from
yeah.
this microscopic isle, battered by the winds and isolated by an enraged sea. But I suppose it does make sense, in a way. If I had been born here, I would have certainly done everything in my power to sail away and discover new horizons.
Yeah, okay. Alright, I've already talked to her about
I must
everything there
leave
to
you.
talk about. Cool.
See you later.
How's Albedo doing? I think she's a captain.
I'll do
Captain
my
Albedo.
best to repay my people's debt to your people.
I had no idea there were so many natives of my island on this continent. Did you know?
I suspected as much. I know the ship I served on is far from the only one transporting your people. Transporting. Kidnapping would be more accurate, wouldn't it?
Yeah, I
However,
noticed.
I would never have imagined that our crimes were so great. And that we'd brought so many here. It shames and angers me. I'm so dreadfully sorry that our guild is involved in this.
What can you tell me about Yuxantis?
Our island is quite far from the mainland. Its land is poor, and its waters are terribly dangerous.
It's
Also,
horrible
the
here.
people who live there have always been exceptional fishermen and sailors. Their survival depended on it. This talent made them useful to the mainlanders. And one day, the sailors decided to unite into a guild. And the Knots quickly became not only sailors, but also shipbuilders. We build the ships, weave the sails, and braid the ropes on our island. Nowadays, not all Yuxantians are sailors, but they all still depend on the wealth of our guild. And for those who sail the seas, it's a home port. Their only true home beyond the waves.
What about sea pledged or seaborn or whatever? Children who are born at sea who are pledged therefore to the Knots. Are they brought here to be raised? I kind of got the impression they were raised on ship, which is admittedly probably not right.
I won't bother you any longer.
See you soon.
Hey Ludwig, do you like the hat? I like the hat.
Good grief, this whole affair is
I don't know if it
messed
fits
up.
you well, but I like it
My
anyway.
companions must be waiting for me in the Dutan Empire. No offense intended, but I really hadn't planned to join you for so long.
Are we going that way?
If I've understood correctly, you're from the land they call Dutan.
That's right. The Holy Dutan Empire.
I think we've already heard
suppose
this.
you'd like me to tell you more about it. It could be a beautiful.
Yeah, we
That's
have.
most likely because it's for my country. We're at ever.
Yeah,
and
yeah, we already did all this. We already did all this.
I've seen you use magic in battle. A different kind of magic.
Yeah, that's one of life's little jokes. I had no talent for it, or at least I never realized it when I was on the front lines. When I switched careers and my disgust for all that religious garbage was at its peak, I discovered I had a gift. Apparently, the enlightened has a sense of humor. Now, I can do a little magic, but I can't use the rings. Even if I'd had this talent before, I would have never gotten very far in the Mateist hierarchy.
Okay. That's all.
See you later.
Of course.
He had an exclamation point. I guess that was the new dialogue, the magic. And Elon.
I miss Sheda so much. Sometimes something happens to us, and
Yeah.
I go to tell her about it before realizing that she'll never be able to listen to me again. It's like a stab to the heart. Every time.
What do you think about this island? It is quite different than ours, but it also stands apart from the continent.
Yes, I feel better here. And the people who inhabit the oil protect it from foreigners. Of course, it is much smaller than Tir Fradi, and it lacks her marvel, but I no longer feel that sickened spirit. The voice is different, with a brutal rudeness, while chanting a melodious song.
Cool.
See you later. Boy.
Alright, let's do his. He has 2. I think first aid. That's not bad. Vengeful Spirit. Magic Deflection. Maybe. I'm using do-gooder stance enough. Potion Throw. No. Double Arrow. Why not? Go with that. Okay. Oh boy. Oh, and he has passive protection and fencing weapons? He's a fencing tank. Fascinating. Okay. Strange. Retaliation. Rampart. Already have it. Resilience. Yeah. 3 times breaks an enemy shields. That's good. Till strength. Yeah. Affinity to retaliation. Nah. Rampart. Oh, I see. That's fine. Here we go. What does she have? She's got 2. It's not bad. Orb of Death. Blood. Applies Rage when dealing Fatal Blow. That's not bad. But once again, she's not that useful because she's still a little bit redundant with me. Crew's Dance of Steel. Sharp Pearl. Oh, daggers and knives are different things. I did not realize that. Okay. What's this? Destroyer stance. Yeah. Stun. Yeah, stun's great. Okay, agility. Focus. Alright, cool. That's fine for now. Let's talk to them, shall we? Let's talk to Sybil, and then talk to Tip.
How can I help you?
What do you think about the Nauts and their city?
I've known the Nauts Guild for a long time, and I've had the opportunity to meet many of its members. But I must admit that it's rather different to see them at home in Yuxantis, and to see the organization that governs their world firsthand. Their bizarre hierarchy based on merit, these admirals and ink masters, the library, the shipyard.
Most of
this
which we haven't seen
town that
yet.
seems to be built from old ships. It's so quaint.
Oh, it's the s'mores here again. I've got a couple more of these too. Good. All right, that's all.
Let's talk about it later.
Always at your service.
I think we'll honestly just finish talking with everybody, and then I think I'm gonna call it a night because I'm getting very tired.
You wanted to speak to me?
Yes. I owe you an apology.
Yes.
And my thanks.
Both of those.
I killed your friend both back on the island. And I'm responsible for capturing you. I don't expect you to forgive me. I was following orders and trying to protect my men. And as a result, not only did I hurt some good people, but now they're all dead. I lost everything. I'm nothing now. I know it's no excuse for what I did to you, and that my present situation won't bring you any comfort. But know that I'll do everything I can to repay my debt to you.
When I saved you, I was only following the laws of the Knots. We must never let anyone die if we can prevent it. Do not mistake this for concern for you personally.
I understand. I admire your respect for your laws.
My uncle would have had you drawn and quartered for your crimes, but not before torturing you to reveal everything you know about our enemy.
Guys.
But perhaps you will prove forthcoming, without us having to torment you.
I'll tell you everything.
What do I think of his lower breastplate? I think it's really weird.
The man who followed you is named Kernaz, and I owe him nothing.
Kernaz, you say? So it's him.
Who is him? Interesting. Yeah, the lower breastplate thing. That's one of the weird little aesthetic quirks to the armor in this setting. Some of the other aesthetic quirks are incomplete chainmail. Put it that way. It's not his. It's not a problem with his. But a lot of these, they have chainmail that is, like, basically it's just the leaves. Which was a thing, by the way. You could just have chainmail sleeves. But the reason you would have just chainmail sleeves is that you have some other form of breast protection, or of torso protection. Right? But a lot of times what they have in this setting is just chainmail sleeves, and either nothing or something woefully insufficient on chest armor, on the torso, like what he has. Something like this like lower breastplate thing. Which leaves the upper chest, and especially the armpits, completely exposed. So you're basically just you're begging to be stabbed in the lungs. Which is not good. Yeah, I think that on the one hand, the game succeeds. The design, the sort of aesthetic design, it succeeds at cutting a unique look and even a unique silhouette that really sets the look of the setting apart. It doesn't just look like medieval armor. It doesn't just look like typical Age of Exploration, Age of Sail, typical, say, for example, like you'd think of the Spanish conquistadors, right? Of having the sort of Italian style breastplate with the forget what the helmet is called, the sort of crested, almost bicorn type of helmet, that sort of thing, right? That's kind of what you expect from this era, the era of this setting, but they do something unique with it, so credit to them for that. The problem is when you try and do something unique with armor or weapons or equipment or things that were historically designed practically, when you try and do something unique to set it apart from the actual historical precedent, you wind up with something that is like almost necessarily impractical. Because historically, the things that people used, they used them because they were practical, they were effective, and they were well designed. And so if you're going to make significant changes to those designs, you're almost necessarily going to be making them worse. Right? And so what we have is the change from the breastplate, the traditional breastplate, which has a reasonably total amount of coverage on the torso, but does not extend as low. It stops at the waist rather than at the hips, and that's for mobility. That's almost purely for mobility, which it really needs it. A solid piece of armor like that, a single piece of steel, without articulation, it needs to stop the waist. Or even ideally, you'd want it to stop at the base of the rib cage. If you have some other protection over your lower torso, you have a chainmail hauberk, for instance, you can get away with just an upper breastplate. But what they're doing is just a lower breastplate rather than an upper one, which is the worst of both worlds. It lacks the protection that a full cuirass would give, but it also lacks the mobility that an upper half, an actual breastplate that was used in roughly this time period would have. So again, in trying to set themselves apart, their design aesthetic, and making it unique to the setting, they wind up making it impractical, which is bound to happen. Of course it is. It's interesting though. I don't know. I like the aesthetics of the armor and weapons in this game. I do. Aesthetically, it's cool. It genuinely is unique, and in an interesting sort of way. But the practicality of it is just bad because of that little quirk of trying to change or alter something that was designed purely for practicality. All right, yeah, you know what? Dreden is he's the sort to accept the apology and to be moving forward rather than looking backward.
Your hands are stained with the blood of our people. But you have also lost much. I accept your apology.
You won't regret it.
We have Tilvitoflin's murder.
How did you find yourself in Kornaz's troops?
In the simplest manner you can imagine. I was assigned to the Green-Blue Regiment a few years back, and I was placed under his command when he was still just an officer. We fought side by side. He took notice. When he was made general, he assigned me to his personal guard.
MSim says, Lord of the Rings has some of the best armor, in my opinion, especially the elf arms and armor, which is one of the main inspirations for Baronis' armor. Yes and no. I do like the armor, just in general. I mean, for example, the Rohirrim use almost exclusively chainmail and large shields, which is, again, that's perfectly period appropriate. That is appropriate to their culture, and it's entirely practical. And notice chainmail and helmets; they wear helmets. The Gondorian armor is much more advanced. It is plate mail, and it's beautifully designed. Like, look at the plate mail of the Gondorian soldiers next time you have a chance. It's gorgeous. The Elven is mostly good. There are oddities about it. It is what I would call medium armor. What we see of it, which isn't very much. It's the banded strips almost woven together, the metal strips that are like woven together. It's a fascinating look, and again, with Elven metallurgy, I believe that they can do that and make it effective. But it's odd. I don't know how well it would work in terms of articulation and everything like that. No, it looks good. Looks really good, and it looks elegant, which is what it should. Now, as for the Elven weapons, those I'm a little less enthusiastic about. I love elves. Elves are my favorite fantasy race in almost any setting. However, except for Dragon Age. But that's because of resentment more than anything else. I like the humans in Dragon Age. They're my favorite fantasy race. But in everything, in basically every other setting, I like elves a great deal. But their swords, especially, have no guards on them. There's no hand protection on almost any of their swords. And that bothers me. That's wildly impractical. It's not even the kind of impractical that elves could sort of get away with because of skill, because hand protection is a relatively minimal guard provides almost no detriments and a tremendous tremendous tactical options, let's say. So anyway, yeah, it's don't like it. I don't like that. If anything, I would think that elves would have something like complex hilts, you know, a complex swept hilt or swept guards, that sort of thing, rather than simply being. Well, actually, comparison point. Look at Glamdring and Orcrist. Those are high elven swords, and you'll notice what they have. Crossguards. Because I'll say, I mean, this crossguard is a good comparison point to Glamdring, at least. Not to Orcrist. Orcrist is an interesting example because it's basically a falchion. But it has that same forward guard, guarding the important part of the blade, the front half. So again, if you look at elven swords that were designed in times of war, that is the Siege of Gondolin. Yeah, they were practical, or more so than than elven swords in the late Second and throughout the Third Age. Yeah, but anyway, sorry, that bugs me a little bit. The fact that elven swords have no guards whatsoever, like literally no hand protection. I like them kind of, but yeah, I'm so torn because my favorite swords from Lord of the Rings are elven. the aforementioned Glamdring and Orcrist. But also, and if I'm allowed to count it, Aiglos, Gil-galad's spear. That's one of my favorite weapons in Lord of the Rings. It shows up in literally one scene, but it's still amazing. I absolutely love it. But no, it's the rest is the more modern. The swords the elves used primarily in the Third Age, at the time of the film, are some of my least favorite designed swords, other than the orcish, the Mordor orc junk. It's awful. The Uruk-hai scimitars are at least practical for what they are. But yeah, I mean, whatever. Anyway, sorry. I have beef with deliberately impractical designs here and there. Armor, great, well done throughout the Lord of the Rings. Weapons, mostly great. Some of them only okay. On the note of elven weapons, though, I really do like Aragorn's knife, that viciously curved blade knife. Like, I really like that. I want a practical and sturdy version of that knife. Be like, if I were to get like a camp knife, I need a nice fixed blade camping knife. I would more than anything like that. Even if just that profile, very much like that. Anyway, back to the game shortly. Then we'll get out of here. Oh, by the way, okay. So before we get back to the game, there is something else I kind of wanted to talk about tonight, which is the upcoming election, the primary election in Kentucky, of all places, which I'm not in. I don't think any of my viewers are in. But if you are, you have a strong moral responsibility to not just vote for, but to campaign for Thomas Massey. He is currently one of, if not the only, congressman who does not belong in prison. So, and of course he is being opposed by most of the most evil people in the world. So absolutely, if you have the opportunity to do anything that you can in support of Thomas Massey's reelection campaign, I highly encourage you to do so. In fact, I am going to after the fact, I'm going to put there's a filmmaker primarily named Dan Smots, who did a great little documentary on Thomas Massey, on his history, on his political positions, on his relationship and his association with the various political movements and things that are going on. It is absolutely worth checking out. It's really good. You can just search in YouTube Thomas Massey documentary. If you can't find it, like I said, I'll put it in the description after we're done, and I'll put it in Discord as well, because it's worth watching. It's like a little less than an hour or something like that. It's absolutely worth watching. It's well made too. Smots is actually a good documentary filmmaker. So it's not just somebody cobbled together a bunch of clips and stuff. No, it's a well made and well produced documentary with clips and interviews and some good narration tying everything together. It's good. It's a good thing. Anyway. All right.
What can you tell me about the Coin Guard?
It's a guild of mercenaries. It's created after the War of Independence of the Free Cities.
That's really
People
recent.
Fought and didn't know how to do much else. So they went and joined this guild, and they started to sell their services to other nations. And from generation to generation, men and women kept on joining up.
I thought the Free
Our
Cities were only
reputations are
made
pride.
independent like a few decades
We
ago.
are employed by both sides of conflicts between warring countries. It's common to confront other members of the guild on the battlefield. Brother killing sister, and vice versa in the name of foreign nations. We are pawns on the chessboard, but without us, battles and victories wouldn't be possible.
I've always wondered, not always wondered since the last game, whether when that sort of thing happens, whether the Coin Guard will do the entirely practical thing, which is when they find themselves in conflict with other Coin Guard, to simply resolve the matter internally and say, here's our agreement. This side goes the victory, because this side's forces are stronger, or this is how the contract plays out, or whatever. That is, one, the practical way to handle these things, especially among paid mercenary companies, and two, historically, in roughly this period and a little bit earlier, how that sort of thing often played out. With a lot of the largest and most powerful mercenary companies, especially in Italy, in the Renaissance, they would often be on both sides of conflicts like this. And what they would do is they would basically they would auction victories, and they would get into a conflict. They would sell their services to both sides, and they would just start a bidding war. Right? Which side? Who wants to win? And since you both hired us, we're not going to fight each other. We're not going to fight ourselves. We are going to decide which one of you gets to pay us more to win. And so what they would essentially decide battles peacefully. or sometimes they would go and they would, quote, fight. Meaning they would, go onto a battlefield and spar each other for a little while. And then they would just internally decide who's going to win, usually based on who paid more. And then just report back, oh no, our side, our forces broke ranks. We were defeated, and we retreated successfully, etc. Right? Which again, that is a very practical and quite frankly a very civilized way of resolving conflicts. It's a way of, because again, what war ultimately is an escalation of disagreement which cannot be resolved peacefully. And so what a mercenary company like the Coin Guard could then do is, rather than being an escalation to violence, they can be an escalation to a third-party arbiter. And I think that is ultimately, if civilization were allowed to continue to grow and to develop, that is probably what the Coin Guard would essentially become. They'd become something like an arbiter, which would require a pretty fundamental change to their excuse me, to their organizations, to their training, to their makeup. But it is the most practical direction for a civilization like this to take.
Why were you on Tir Fradi? Did Kurnas send you there?
When Kurnas recruited me, he appreciated the fact I challenged his strategies. We became rather close. But as time passed, he took to liking my questions less and less. And my ideas even less than that. So he started assigning me to missions that took me farther away from him, including the mission to Tir Fradi. He needed island test subjects for his scientists. He didn't tell me anything else. And I did as I was ordered. Even though I regret it today, I obeyed.
I do really want to know what those experiments were.
How did you end up in that cavern on the Esquiara?
When you escaped, Kurnas was notified immediately. We knew that a great many islanders were fleeing. Rarely from prisons, but from the noble houses they'd been sold to. He wanted to find you to make an example. And he had you followed by scouts. He kept the troops back, ready to strike when he'd find you. He was elated to discover that your little group had joined a community of islanders. As soon as the troops were ready, he gave the order to attack. And you know the rest.
I must be off.
I understand. See you later.
That's what we got there, huh? All right. Well, okay. There's a party. That'll work. All right. Party is valid. Okay. I think I'm going to look what's upstairs before I leave. Huh. Oh, nice. Cool sword. Ugh. I take it back. The crossguard is way too thick. A wide crossguard. Am I allowed in here? I'm probably not allowed in here. What'd I get? What'd I get? I got a cool hat. Not hat. Got a naughty hat for being naughty and breaking into people's rooms. Oh, these our bedrooms? I assume this is our quarters. Yeah, because that's our supply chest. Look at this. Ooh. Pretty fancy. Big fancy room with a desk, a little... It's odd that there is a very medieval chair here with and little stools around the table. Interesting. And a chamber pot. All right, let me check out the new equipment and anything, and then we'll, like I said, I'll wrap it. Officer's Burgonet. That's actually quite nice. Juntan Tag Toke. Really low armor. Really low armor. That's I love it. I love it. I love it. I don't like that. But this is so much better though. Same armor, no magical deflection. Nah, I can't bring myself to actually use that, which is really unfortunate. Can she? You know what, sure. She can use the native hat. I guess. Sailor's bandana. Oh yeah, of course she gets the tricorn. Of course she gets the tricorn. Yeah, no, that's actually quite better. That's much better for him. I really like that hat though. Maybe she can wear it. Sure can. Cap'n. All right, that'll have to do, right? Yeah. All right. Give him a call there. So, there we go. All right. Well, good night, everybody. Thank you for joining me. Oh man, good game so far. I'm still curious as to how open the world for this game gets. Because based on how the map works, it looks like it's going to be relatively open, but maybe it's not. Maybe it is kind of linear, and this is when we're in this location. And then once we're out of this location, we're moving on or something like that. I don't know. I'm curious. Anyway, we'll have to wait and see, shall we? In any case, thanks for joining me tonight. I will see you next week. I will see you on probably gonna be. We'll see whether it's Monday or Wednesday. I'll keep everybody posted. Don't worry. I'll let people know in Discord, on social medias, etc. So I'll let you guys know whether we're going to be streaming Fable 3 on Monday or on Wednesday, and we're probably going to be coming back to Greedfall 2 next Friday. So look forward to that. I'm also going to be having a guest appearance on Adam from Incarnational Inkwell's podcast, Incarnational Inkwell. And we're going to be talking about Plato's Symposium, so expect that to show up as well next week at some point. I'm going to give his channel a good nice lead time, so I'm going to be sharing his stuff, so feel free to listen to it over there, or watch it. I'm not sure if we're going to do video recording or just audio. We'll see. But yeah, have a look at it there. And if for whatever reason you miss it on his channel, I may wind up posting it on mine later on, eventually, just so it's on the podcast list. Anyway, thanks for joining me. Have a wonderful evening. I will see you guys next time. Until then, remember, don't be safe. Be well. More importantly, be good. Good night, everyone.